Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, there's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Second down, Haskins. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
57, Mike, 57.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. From the 45 on 2nd down, Haskins, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Check 3. 6 guys, check 6 guys. Alert flare.
Fighting to stay on his feet past midfield. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line.
57 is the Mike. Watch 57. And let's get that. Let's go. 57 is Mike. Mike 57. Here we go, D.
Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. And he completes it to Hunt.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing again on second down. Haskins. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 22-yard line.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
They'll run on first down. Hunt, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Throwing on second down. Haskins. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Aaron Donald in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. They'll try to capitalize on play number 11 of this opening drive. 3rd and goal. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 21-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Darnold. And that's complete to Jesse James.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Darnold on third down. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Darnold. James has got it. Complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Michelle. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He finds Humphreys. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. The shotgun snap for Darnold. He gets it to Humphreys. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now it's Darnold. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Throwing again is Darnold.
Throw the fucking ball, man.
To escape, and he goes down. The sack by Ronald Darby coming from the corner.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got
I
to
threw
him
the
with the
fucking
pressure?
goddamn ball, man. I fucking hit the goddamn button before he even came
Defensive back.
within 2
You're all
steps of me.
smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Fuck,
Very
man,
nice
it's just so
job
fucking
on the
stupid. You know,
run
telling me
back there.
I'm not even throwing the
23
ball.
yards all told. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Haskins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Haskins looking to throw on first down. Open man is Ross, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
All right. You going? You staying in the area, or you going down there?
And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101 tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up.
And Darnold, he lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone, a fumble recovery, and a Cincinnati touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
The extra point up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Watch it.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. But it'll be second down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Darnold down to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Throwing here on third down. Darnold is going to find his running back. It's complete. He's at the 30, the 20, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Zerline good with a PAT, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Kill.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. Got a man open, it's Ross. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Third and 2, now Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowski to punt this one away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry.
What's the flag?
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
What dumbass shit is that, man? Like, how the fuck is that even a goddamn... Doesn't make any sense.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10.
Whip. Watch the whip. Kill.
Now Haskins on 1st down. Going deep downfield for Raw. That's caught inside the 20. And he's in for the touchdown.
So they gonna call like a rough. How you do that on the fucking? You punting the ball.
Is answered.
How did they get that done?
That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Well, not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
How in the hell is that a fucking goddamn roughing the passer or whatever the fuck they call that shit?
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. To throw again on second down. Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Darnold from the gun. It's caught. Humphreys. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a give right side. Swift. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 40 now on second down. Darnold.
You caught that shit.
And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. And the Chiefs are going to get him. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw, Haskins. And the pressure gets to him again. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Go ahead, take a seat. You can't stop me.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Shaquille Barrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Talk. Come here. Oh, well.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
To throw is Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And it's taken in at the 9. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 1st down, it's Haskins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
I remember a coach told me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. Here I come.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
No, now you gonna make it. Nope, I need a 4, man. Do this shit. Motherfuckers man winning like.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Darnold now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Well, they take forever to fucking get these plays off.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw, Darnold. That's complete, middle of the field to Humphreys. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold, it's caught. Smith. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 43.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Darnold, he's got the 1st down here inside the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards.
1st down, Kansas City.
Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. To the air again, Darnold. Complete. Smith has it. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold, and he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a Scotia credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL?
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Jonnu Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line.
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
57.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Haskins. Side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
We got 3, three down, 3 down. Hustle, hustle. 57, Mike 57.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Grady Jarrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Throwing on 2nd and long. Haskins, he sets to fire deep.
Man, I missed the fucking kick.
Inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Here's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Haskins. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st and 10, Darnold to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Darnold. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Watch the pass. Tight end right.
Darnold on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That was very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Darnold down to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Now Haskins to throw it. Being chased out. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Haskins going to try to throw it. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home
probably
games.
could've beat
That
them.
much
Oh,
we know.
too
We
damn
want to
distracted.
protect our home turf. They